Hi, Renee. Welcome back.
Hey, good morning.
How are you doing today?
I am good. Thank you for asking.
Good,
How are
good.
you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So let's go ahead and get into today. I just want to first off kind of go over what we went over last session. The
Okay.
last time that you were here, we just kind of got to know each other a little bit better, and I went over our confidentiality and our fees and cancellation policy. And I kind
Yes.
of just want to go over that again briefly, just because it is so important. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, God, no, that's totally fair. Thank you, please.
Okay, great. So first, Renee, everything that we talk about is confidential. I want you to know that. But there are some exceptions to that. The first one is if there is a subpoena from a judge and he's requesting information, that's something that I'll have to share.
Okay, that's
The
fair.
Okay. And the second is if there's a mention of harm to yourself or to others, that's something I'll have to mention as well. And
Okay.
lastly, if there's a mention of elder abuse or neglect, that's also something I'll have to mention. Does all that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I appreciate you for bringing it up again. Thank you. It kind of reassures me.
Okay, great, great. So then moving forward today, our session is going to be a little longer. We're going to get a bigger picture of your family background, just more about you, so that we can kind of have a better navigation of some goals or some things that you want to accomplish in the future together.
Okay. Okay. I'm open
Okay.
to that.
All right. So then it's going to be quite a bit of questions today, Renee. So if you get overwhelmed or if there's a question that you're uncomfortable answering, please just let me know and we can move on from that. I'll take note, okay?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So first, Renee, can you tell me how you found out about us?
Yeah, I'm actually, so I am back in school, or I was back in school. I'm actually on leave from school right now, a leave of absence, which is one of the reasons I'm here. But a counselor at the school told me about this resource center and suggested that I reach out and, just see what it is you guys offer and see if you can kind of help me right now.
Great, great. Well, I'm really glad that you found us and you're here. And so, what would you say the reason why that you came here looking for help?
Um, so I really, I mean, I've just been really depressed lately. I feel like I don't have any motivation. Um, I really can't find a lot of happiness in life right now, and that bothers me. I've been really struggling with anxiety, getting overwhelmed and feeling just like I'm in a state of panic almost. Um, because of these emotions, because of this, these increased emotions, I've been drinking. And I have a history of drinking. So I served in the military, and when I was in the military, I drank a lot as well. And so I feel like this is a something that's rearing its ugly head again, and that concerns me, and it concerns my family a lot too. And so I agreed to come in and see if I could get some help before this gets out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. Renee, I think you did the right thing. And, what I'm hearing is that you're experiencing a lot of depression, anxiety, maybe some loneliness, and
Yeah,
these feelings, they've caused maybe some triggering to the alcohol use. Is that correct?
yeah, I think what you're saying sounds pretty accurate.
Okay, well, we're gonna see what we can do to help, okay? Um,
Okay.
as far as family, what family do you have around?
Um, so I do have family around. In fact, I actually live with my dad right now. Um, I when I went decided to go back to school, obviously income, was limited. I was not working. So I decided to move back in with my dad. My parents are divorced. I don't have much of a relationship with my mom anymore. But my dad, I see often because I live there. But our relationship is not good right now. Obviously, he is concerned about the drinking and the depression as well, and that has caused a lot of fighting and just really just an uncomfortable feeling in the house. And actually, now that you mention it, my dad has kind of given me an ultimatum. If I didn't get some help, he was going to make me leave. And so technically, I wouldn't
Okay.
have anywhere to go.
Okay. Okay. So would you say that, the primary reason that you're coming for help is because you're worried about, your dad cutting you off or not supporting you because of the drinking?
Yeah. As much as I don't want to admit that, I think that is a lot of my reason for being here. Um, but sitting here today, right now, I know I need some help, um, and so I'm glad I'm here, even if that initial motivation came from my dad.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the first step is just admitting that you could need some support. So you're already doing a great job with that, Renee.
Thank you for saying that.
Of course. And just a little bit of the basics I kind of bypassed here. I'm so sorry about that. Um,
Okay.
your age, you said 39, is that correct, Renee?
Actually, 36.
36. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
And what is your date of birth?
So I was born September 10th,
Okay,
1982.
all right. And you're living in Columbia, Missouri, is that correct?
I am. Yep. I live in
Okay,
Columbia with my dad.
with your father. Okay. And your pronouns you've mentioned are she, her. Is that
Yes, that is correct.
all right? Great. All right. So you mentioned your father being a support. Is there any other support systems that you have? Maybe friends or, church or any activities, hobbies?
Um, Honestly, no. I have just really retreated this last year. I isolate a lot. Um, I tend to I would go to school and I would go home. Um, and I had classmates that were in my classes, and some of them would attempt to, befriend me, and I don't know. I couldn't be a friend right now, so I don't have any friends. Um, and my relationship with my dad is bad again, like I mentioned. So I just don't feel like I have anybody in my life right now, um, and that's not a good feeling either.
That's totally understandable. Whenever we've got so many things on our plate, a lot of pressures, it's hard to find the energy to go out and make friends. And, it's really hard to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Thank
that's
thank you
very
for
normal.
Okay, thank you for saying that too, because it's hard not to get down on yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
feel like there's something wrong with me. Why can't I make a friend?
Yeah. So when you're feeling like this, do you have any like coping skills, things that you maybe do to
Not not that are healthy. I turn to alcohol and I drink.
okay, okay. So when did the alcohol use start?
Um, so again, when I was in the military, I drank pretty heavily. That's pretty normal in the military. Everybody drinks.
Okay.
um, when I got out of the service, I kind of cut back. I cut way back on the drinking, mainly because I got back into school, and so the workload, was pretty significant. Um, but ever since the depression has kind of kicked back in, and especially the anxiety. I think for me, when I feel that anxiety, my first instinct is to drink, because I don't want to feel that. I want to try to turn that off, and I want to turn my brain off. And alcohol kind of allows me to do that there for a minute. So I started drinking pretty heavily again. Now, that being said, I have not had a drink in 2 weeks. So my
Congratulations.
yeah, so my last drink was 2 weeks ago. So I'm definitely feeling those increased emotions right now.
Yeah, and that's understandable. That's very, very normal. Okay, jotting this down.
That's okay.
Okay, so you mentioned the military. Now, I'm sure that that was a, very impactful experience in your life. Is that something you want to talk about a little bit more? Is that, as a critical event in your life? Is that,
I mean, it's a significant part of my life for sure. And I think obviously once, I don't know, once maybe I start, getting into counseling, maybe if that's the route I go. Um, Gosh, I do think there's things that I probably do need to talk about and process. I deployed. I was in Afghanistan in 2012, and um, I think there's some things that I have kept bottled up, from that experience. And so I do think it's important to open that door, essentially. Um, but yeah, and that, I guess, that would be on my list of why I'm here as well.
okay, great. So the counseling is something that you could maybe be open to?
Yes,
Okay, okay,
it's hard to
okay.
say that. Yes.
Okay, well, no decisions, nothing has to be made right now, this is early in the road, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so as far as the mental health history, you mentioned depression, started whenever you were young.
It was, yeah, I would say, let's see here. So my parents got divorced when I was younger, and I can remember, feeling feelings of depression, when that was happening. So, gosh, I would say I've experienced depression and anxiety since I was about 14 years old. So it's been a long time. This is something I have battled on and off for a very long time.
Okay, okay. And is that something, does that run in your family? Is there a history on your father's side, mother's side?
Um, I don't know, actually. I don't think I've ever had that conversation with my parents.
Okay,
Um, so I don't know. And I
okay,
also
well,
have a
that's okay.
brother. I apologize. I should have mentioned earlier. I have a brother. I don't talk to him much
Oh,
either.
okay.
He lives out of state, but I do have an older brother as well.
An older brother, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're okay, no problem at all. It's a lot of questions. Okay. And as far as medical history, is there any allergies, any medicines that you take regularly?
Um, I don't have anything major going on as far as like health problems. I was recently, I apologize, recently diagnosed with sleep apnea. I had a sleep study, and so they told me I had sleep apnea, and so they did prescribe one of those CPAP machines. Um, so I have yet to start it. There's that lack of motivation.
Yeah.
um, it's just sitting there. Haven't done that yet. So sleep apnea is really the only thing. I haven't had anything really significant in my life as far as physical, sickness. The
Okay.
psychological, the depression and anxiety. Again, that's been on and off since I was a teenager. And I did go through counseling when I was younger as well, in high school after my parents' divorce. So.
Okay. Would you consider that like beneficial? Or, did you enjoy the counseling?
I was a lot younger, so I don't remember exactly like the experience going through counseling. But I do remember after counseling that I successfully completed high school, and at that time, I was going to transition into college and the military. So I feel like it was beneficial because it kind of put me back on the right path, and I found some of that motivation again. So I can see that. I can see that the link between the two.
Good, good. So you mentioned education. You finished high school, and then I'm aware that you started college. Is that correct?
I did. So right after high school, my intention was to go into straight into college, into a program, and I ended up not even finishing the first year, and deciding to join the Marine Corps. So I ended up joining the Marine Corps, and yeah, went from there.
Okay. And is school something that you'd want to pick back up, maybe go back and finish, or?
Yeah, gosh, I would really like to. I have so much invested in it. I'm in a PhD program right now for mechanical engineering. I have so much time and energies invested in this. I have, a research project that I was a part of until I, took this leave of absence. So I think that that's really adding to my, depression, because I feel like, here it is, I've spent so much of my life, working towards this, and I just can't finish it for some reason right now. So that's very frustrating.
Yeah. Well, Renee, it sounds like you're a very intelligent, resilient woman, and you just might need a little bit of help and a little bit of stepping stones, and to get you there. It's definitely possible.
Oh, thank you. That actually means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, See, so you mentioned that you were living with your father.
Yes.
Is that is other than the turbulent kind of relationship there, is you guys in a financial stable place, or what does it look like?
Where we live, my father, he had a successful career. He was a dentist, and so he's retired now. But we live in a nice part of Colombia. We live in a nice home. I'm very fortunate in that aspect, as long as he lets me stay. So,
Okay, great. Good to know that you're not struggling financially then. Um, so as far as legal history, is there any criminal charges or any trouble that you've gotten into in the past?
um, no, nothing, nothing that was officially, within the legal system.
Right, right.
I got my share of silly trouble when I was in the military. But
Right.
no, nothing to note.
Okay. 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 What about spirituality or religion? Do you belong to any one of those, or?
Um, that's a good question. I know when I was younger, my parents, we went to church. I was baptized. We went to a Lutheran church. That was really important to my mom. Um, as I've gotten older, I do not go to church. I guess I find myself more spiritual than religious, if that makes sense. So I think I have a good sense of spirituality, but I don't go to church. I'm not really big on the religion thing.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So the spirituality, there any things that you do for fun for your spirituality, or meditation or things like that?
Um, I like nature a lot. I like being
Okay.
outside. I really appreciate just the beauty of our world, and I like to
Yeah.
be outside and be in nature and explore, and I used to love to hike and to go camping, and to travel, and I just haven't done that. I haven't done that in a long time.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. And then as far as any impact of diversity? Is there anything that you struggle with, to fit in or, to belong? Is there any concerns there that, bother you?
I think I've always, again, when we were talking about the friend thing, I think I've always had really poor social skills. Um, so I think that that's something I've struggled with for a long time. I enjoy school. I like learning. I like using my intellect. I'm not good with people. So social situations tend to be awkward for me.
Right, right. I understand that, and that's always something, thankfully, that can be practiced and worked on and always improved. So, that's something, that's a good thing. Um, yeah, well, Renee, I really appreciate all these questions that you've answered, all this information that you've been so willing to share with me. I just want to get this straight for
Of
the
course.
present, yeah, for the main presenting problem. The issue of concern that you're coming is for the, help with the alcohol use, resources from the VA. Is that right? Or
Yeah, I did. I recently got enrolled in the VA healthcare.
oh, good.
So do have access to that as well. So I think that that would be beneficial. And I think you're right. I think that alcoholism probably needs to be addressed. As much as I don't want to admit that, I think that I need to learn how to not turn to alcohol when I'm not feeling good. When that depression creeps in, um, need to replace that with some healthy options.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it can be hard, to kind of digest all that, um, but you have already taken the first step. You are here, and that takes a lot of courage and bravery. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And next session, next time we meet, we're gonna work more on some goals, goal setting, some things that you'd like to accomplish. We can work on those together. Does that sound
Okay,
okay?
it does. It actually sounds really nice. Yeah, that sounds really nice.
Okay. And from what I've gathered, it sounds like you've got a lot of strengths, Renee. I can see definitely intelligence from, you started a career, you started college in a really hard field, I'll say that. You sounds like you've got a lot of determination, bravery from the service. You've got a lot of skills and strengths that we can utilize in our relationship together.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's been a while since someone has pointed those out to me. My dad is pretty negative. He's constantly just berating me and telling me what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
That just takes its toll on your own self confidence. It doesn't make me want to change anything. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's actually really nice to hear.
Well, good. Well, good. We're going to work together. And if you want to go ahead and you want to schedule a session for next week and we can get this started.
Okay, that sounds good. Yes.
Okay, well then let's see, I'll put you down for same time next week and
All
I'll
right.
see you then.
That sounds good. It was good to see you today. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Have a good day, Renee.
All right. Bye, Sid.
Bye.